Winter's almost here, and it's time to start buying airplanes for next spring, I guess. Anyway, saw a couple of videos about this Viper 80 that were pretty incredible. And so I decided to go ahead and order it. And in the meantime, keep flying my Habu 70 that I've had so much success with lately. So I'm going to put this together, and I'm not going to do the unboxing. I may take a few still pictures, see if there's any issues, throw the thing together, bind it up with a 637T that I have on hand, and play with it a little bit, do some programming, and I'll be back with you in a minute when I get the box undone. If you've ever unboxed a E-Flight airplane, you'll recognize this. This is the styrofoam and all the foam packing that goes in around this airplane, and there were absolutely no issues with those packages. There's not a single blemish that I was able to find. This is the total hardware package that comes with the plug and play version. That's it. Some screws and looks like the elevator coupling and a little tube for the tail. Maybe. I'm not sure what that tube is for. We'll have to find out. So anyway, let's get rid of all of this stuff and put all the airplane pieces up here. Here's the entire airplane. Now I've got the fuselage sitting on top of the wing, but it's not obviously hooked up yet. It looks like it's going to take about 10 or 12 screws to put this thing together, and then put the receiver in it, hook everything up, and bind it. So I don't think this is going to take very long. Just a few notes. One, all of the surfaces have got these very nice plastic hinges. Everything, flaps, ailerons, elevator, all of it. The fit and finish on this thing is really remarkable. We've got also a magnetic nose cone that'll pop off in the event of a bad landing. Nope. And I still don't know exactly what that's for. So I got the manual back here, which if you've bought one of these models lately, you'll find that you may do a little searching around on in the box for the manual. They've started putting it on the bottom of the styrofoam. So you need the manual to find stuff, and they've hidden it pretty well. So let's put some screws in and see if we run into any problems like mismatches or things that don't fit quite right. And I'll be back with you in a minute. One noteworthy thing about this model, other than the fine hinges, is that this 120 amp Smart Avian ESC is mounted in here so that the cooling air that it gets is being pulled in by the motor. So that ducted fan is going to be keeping this ESC very cool, I suspect. There are 5 2mm hex screws, and if you haven't used hex screws for putting models together, you really need to get a bunch of hex screws and take out all those Phillips heads. They're really lovely. Everything fit up just right. Everything tightened up. So let's put the tail on. Here's part of the tail feathers, and you will notice that the servos are mounted in bays with 3 hex head screws that hold them in. So no worries if to replace the servo. Should not be a problem. Just take 3 screws loose, the servo should just pop right out. The rudder servo is where? Not in the rudder. Right here. Ah, okay. There it is. That would be the rudder servo. And it is held in place by 4 hex head screws. Just pop them out and you can just pop that servo right out of there. So let's just, okay, that's a little better focus. So let's just put all this together and see if it works. So back here in the back, there's a little bit of difficulty. There's a bundle of 4 wires, 2 for the elevator, 2 for the rudder. Now you might wonder why 2 for the rudder. That's because one of those rudders is on a Y cable to this light on the top of the vertical stab. But you do have to be careful to make sure that these wires are stuffed into this box back here and that none of them get down into the outflow from the EDF. Having done that, everything seems to fit up just fine. And there you have it. Screwdriver over there was the only thing I needed. Okay, a couple of nice touches. We've got canopy trim plastic here and on the fuselage. Very nice latch back here. Back in the back, the rudder linkage is on ball joints. They just pop right in perfectly. No issues. One thing you might want to check is to look up in here and make sure there are no wires hanging down from the vertical and horizontal stabilizer connections, because it is possible, not likely, that you might get a wire in there. Well, I have run into an issue. Apparently I have a bad flap servo. Or 2. So I take this loose and plug it back in. There. Now the servo is seemingly active normally, but it's not. Oh, that came back up.
ESC 24.4 volts, 0 amps, 75 Fahrenheit.
That's not normal. So we ran into a bit of an issue with the servo on the right wing flaps. And here you can see what it is. It's just jittering.
ESC 24.3 volts.
That is not good.
70 Fahrenheit.
Turn the volume down there. Then after flipping the flap switch, nothing's happening. It jitters for a while and then just quits working completely. And I've replicated this at least 6 times. So I have sent a repair request in to Horizon. I expect to hear back from them today. And if we back out here a little bit, you can see the process that was required to get in there. Over here is a little access door. It's a little bit difficult to get into, but once you get it opened up, it's not too bad. I'm going to run and grab that. Call it a door, it's a panel. This is what that looks like. There's a screw that goes in here that helps hold the wing on and hold this panel on. So I just had to take a knife and come around the edge here and then take a screwdriver and push on that until it came out. It had a little bit of glue on it, but not so much as to prevent it from popping out. And then up here we've got our Y cables, 3 of them, for the 6 wires coming in from the ailerons, servos. Over here, that's the flaps, and we got lights on the wingtips. And that connects up to a handy little bus that then connects to the fuselage when you put the wing on. So everything else seems to be working just fine. I'll have to figure out how to get this tape here put back together with some light adhesive, but that's not a huge issue. The nice thing is that these servos do mount in their little boxes here, and it's really easy to get out. 3 screws and a little, just a little prying here on the the arm and just pops right out. Everything else is working. The gear is working just fine. All the other control surfaces are okay. The flaps are going to have some adjustment to get them neutral. They need to be extended, or the arms need to be adjusted. Not the arms, but the rods need to be adjusted a bit. So we're going to end this video here, and I'm going to make another video once we get all of this fixed. I don't anticipate it's going to take very long from here. All I really need to do now, once we get all this buttoned up, is glue the receiver in up there at the, let's see, we'll just move this up a little bit, and there's the current state of the receiver just hanging out there. Get that glued in, everything positioned, and finish the radio programming, which I've not done yet. Still got to set up safe select and rates and expos and all that stuff, because the receiver that comes with the binding file has all that programmed in, but this one doesn't. So I'm going to have to set that up per the manual. So I'll be back with you here maybe in a few days and show you what happened when we got everything cleaned up and buttoned up and ready to go. So meantime, I'll see you soon, I hope, and have a great day.